Hi, welcome back to How to Purchase a Home in the Pacific Northwest During a Pandemic. I'm still Cassandra with John L. Scott. And last week in part 3, we discussed a little bit about preparing and negotiating your offer. And now this week, we're going to talk about what is mutual acceptance. So what is that? Well, that's where a buyer and a seller come to initial terms on the sale and purchase of a property. And this is where I get to say, congratulations, you are under contract. And a lot of the times that is said when there's been other offers on the table. So it's really rewarding to say that, although it is not my first favorite day. It's actually my second favorite day. My first is handing keys over on Keys Day. But anyways, we're not done yet. That's just the beginning. We got you under contract, and now we're gonna start in with our contingencies and our timelines. And the first contingency that we usually face is the earnest money being due to title and escrow. And depending upon state, you have 2 to 3 business days to get it there by 5 p.m. So if you have mutual acceptance, so let's give an example. You write an offer on a house over the weekend, and you and the seller come to mutual acceptance on Monday, anytime on Monday. Then that is that day, and then Tuesday is what we call first day counting. So you will have Tuesday, Wednesday, and sometimes Thursday by 5 p.m. to turn your earnest money into escrow. So that's usually the first big hurdle. After that, we do have a few other timelines, and this is where I'm going to tell you, I kind of already mentioned it, but a big disclaimer. I do business in Oregon and Washington, and the timelines and contracts are very different between the two states. So I have a little piece of paper that tracks all of the timelines and contingencies that you need depending upon which state you're purchasing in. And so one example of this is inspections. So the inspection timeline in the state of Oregon, you have 10 business days, so that doesn't count weekends and holidays, to come to mutual acceptance upon repairs with the seller on what you're going to do or what they're going to do or not do before the sale of the property. Where in the state of Washington, you have, as a buyer, you have 10 calendar days to turn over your repairs to the seller, and then they have 3 days, not counting weekends or holidays, to respond to you. And then you have 3 days, not counting weekends and holidays, to respond to them. And hopefully by then, you'll have come to an agreement on what repairs are going to or not going to be done in that time. So some other timelines and contingencies that you might face are the seller's property disclosures. And it's 7-8 pages of questions about the property that you might not necessarily see just walking through the property. Sometimes you're talking about wells or water sources, or has there been leaks or anything kind of like that. So it kind of gives you a history of the house. Other items and contingencies are, you'll have the title contingency where you can review the title that is provided from escrow and see what kind of information the county has and just information about the property. And if you've got questions, you ask title and escrow, they should be able to help you. Others are lead-based paint contingency if your house is older than 1978. We also have a siding contingency, a wood stove contingency. You might even have an HOA contingency depending upon if your house has an HOA or not. That can lead to some really good reading. What I've seen usually is 80 plus, 100 plus, 120 plus pages of great weekend reading. You got 5 days to do it usually. So other than those items, and through this process, as a buyer's agent, I am responsible for tracking those and making sure that you have the information that you need to make a good decision, or to either move forward or terminate the transaction and hopefully you're happy with what you're purchasing. Obviously, I can't make decisions for you, but each purchase and transaction can be completely different because each house is different. So my job as a real estate professional is just to guide you through to the information so that you can make your decisions. So now that you have your dream house under contract, and we're mutual acceptance and we're moving along in timelines, next week we're going to talk a little bit about title and escrow and what that is and what that means to you and what that means to your home buying process. So thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful week.